Hey guys, it's your host Adrian Babashoff. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. If you guys are new here, this is a show dedicated to everything pertaining to improving the quality of life through liberation and independence, exploring alternatives to the daily grind, moving from surviving and thriving and living life raw. Today, guys, simple life warning. What is it? For those of you interested in the lifestyle that I'm kind of living and that others are doing, I think that there's some issues. So let's talk about them today. There are some of us who choose to do things completely and entirely different from what's out there. And let me tell you, it's very fucking liberating. It's very addictive. Once you taste freedom, I mean, come on, guys. Give somebody some freedom. Give them some space to actually take a deep breath and sigh. Go stick your feet in the sand to actually happy. You know, I every once in a while, it's very weird. I get this feeling like I start looking at my plans of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Of course, there's money in the bank that I worked very fucking hard to achieve, and that helps with the anxiety. But every once in a while, I get this feeling and I'm like, oh my God, everything's going to be okay. And it's a really weird feeling. It's crazy to accept that. And I wonder, like, can we allow ourselves to be success, like that, like we're there, it will be okay, no matter what, you'll make something happen? I mean, I get this feeling, I think, every year before my mini retirements, which for those of you who are new, I retire every year. It's my 6th year in a row. I retire from June to like the end of September. Hopefully this year's going to be October, but I can't just get this sense of anxiety that gets in me. And it's just crazy to go, can you allow yourself to be successful, that as much as we want it, we don't want it, and that all of these subliminal and subconscious thoughts start creeping in and it starts jumbling you up, and the systems in place get you so fucking freaked out and scared that, I don't know, man. It's just a crazy feeling to feel like everything's okay. How many things are we doing and we don't even fucking know why? That's what's just crazy. Like, I don't mean to pick on the public education system so much, but have you guys ever heard of this thing called the learning pyramid? And I know I've said it before, but it bears repeating. The military is very keen on this, okay? Because when we gotta win a fucking war, hey, everything else goes out the fucking window. It's straight fucking business. So when they're training these poor young guys to go fucking fight, they've got to make sure that they absorb the information. And how do they do that? Well, they understand that the learning pyramid, at the very top, the peak, the least amount of information, of absorption, of knowledge and education is lectures. For the most part, I think there are some people who can absorb it. I think it's a mindset, because if you're really interested in the subject matter, like I am when I do some research, I absorb everything and I can memorize it. Problem with me is I research so much that I can't keep names and dates and things like that. But to me, that's insignificant. That's like our public education? Most of it is just listening to someone lecture, and by reading. Look it for yourself. I don't want to go through every detail and waste your time, but the absorption rate is like 10%. That's how much you will remember from listening to a lecture. At the very bottom, the best now, is when you teach someone how to do it, you actually show them, and then you have them teach somebody else. If they start implementing it into their life immediately, that's when they actually will learn. Confucius, the knife is sharp. I've said this is one of my sayings, but it bears repeating because it's so full of wisdom. The knife is sharp, he says to the student, and one day the student says, "Yes, I understand," and it's like, "Oh, do you?" But one day the student cut himself pretty deep, and he looks and says, "Oh my God, master, the knife is sharp," and he says, "Yes, now you know." As I say, I just hope that my children and other people around me that I care about don't die from mistakes, me included. In short, we actually don't know until we actually experience it. Then it really sinks in. Then we absorb it, and then we can utilize it. The thing that gets me is not just, we're sending our kids to public education, and that's we're preparing these kids for the rest of their lives, and even ourselves. And how much of this shit are we absorbing? How much is it helping? What is fucking going on? This is a really weird one that trips me the fuck out, but I'm going to move on. When you live a simple life, you're the one who organizes it. You're responsible for everything, especially when you're in the entrepreneur field like me. There's nobody there to help you. The illusions are all gone. If you want to blame it on society or this or that, it's like once you get set into a simple life, an alternative lifestyle design, and you learn that, hey, I'm getting off the system, you can't blame the system anymore or your boss, anything, because you found out that you were actually in power now. If you want to sit and complain and point the finger at other places and not look at yourself, then you're kind of fucked. Because you just snitched on yourself. You had the power to get off of it, and you also have the choice to get back on or get back off. And it could be a very strange thing to deal with psychologically. Lots of discipline. It takes tons of discipline. How did I get to where I'm at? How did I figure this stuff out? It took time. While others were out running around having a good time, I was in my cocoon fucking planning and fucking just strategizing my life to figure out how the fuck can I get more time for myself? How can I save money? It takes work. It took me a long fucking time to develop this, and that's why I want to share and give you guys these shortcuts and also these warnings. Spousal agreements, I think that's what's ruined my relationship. I've been single for about 3 years. Been a long time, if you know what I mean. God damn. I lost my relationship, but you know what I did gain? Financial independence. For those of you who are in a relationship or looking to get in a relationship, when you live the way us crazy people do, very simple, very different. It is exactly that. It's different, and it may not fit. The majority of people out there, they're not going to want it. They don't get this. They're still after the proverbial apple. They're still fucking chasing the American fucking dream. When you live like I do, you actually get fucking persecuted by people. They look at you like you're fucking crazy. You're fucking up your kids. You're fucking up your life and everything. But meanwhile, I look and I'm like, who's driving to a 9-to-5 job, sitting in traffic all day? Who's fucking just completely fucking pissed off, agitated? Where's the proof? So I kind of hope for you guys got to check out my Instagram, Up and In It. That's where I post every single day to kind of show you guys what my lifestyle looks like. There's many others out there, but I think that's what we're all here to do, is for anybody who's interested, give you guys some help, and again, give you guys some warnings. I don't want to paint this thing like it's fucking spectacular, although it is, but there's also things that you need to take in consideration. So like me, I lost my relationship, and I think, it was a good thing for both of us. It's the simple things, I think, in life too that get you. There was a movie I saw with, I forget what the actor's name was, but he was a pilot, and he was flying over Vietnam, and his plane crashed, and he was captured by the natives there. They bound him up. They took him out into the jungle. Within minutes, it was just so awesome. I'll never forget this, is that they waited till all the planes went by and all this shit was cleared, and then they needed to eat something and set up camp. So immediately, one guy ran after fucking wood, another guy ran after to go get some, trying to find some game. And there was, in particular, there was these two dudes, and they cut a piece of bamboo in half. I forget exactly how they did it. Put a slit in the middle. And you know how the old survival thing where you get the bow and string with a stick, and you cause friction to make it light up? Both these guys grabbed an end. They put their feet together, right? Facing each other. They both pushed down, and one would pull and then the other would pull back. And within minutes, I would love to try this with somebody. They caused so much friction, and I think it was a movie, of course, but it was like 15 seconds, and they caused so much friction by both joining together and got that fucking fire started like nobody's fucking business. It was just, there's cool little things I think that you can start to incorporate in your life like that. The more simple things, the more camaraderie, to have the time to try shit like that. I remember being on a job. It was super hot. I started roofing when I was 13. I dropped out of school. And I'd like to say too, guys, I made a 6-figure income. I paid $60,000 fucking dollars to the IRS. I don't know why I've been thinking about that all day today. That was in 2016. But so I've been successful, and I just choose to live the life that I do, very to simplified. But getting back to the story, his name was Jose. It was probably 100 degrees plus. We're on this big, giant, flat roof commercial building. And we both just sat next to, there was no place to sit, really. There's this little area that had finally some shade. And we both sat there, on our asses with Indian style. And he nosed up to me, and he put his back. He goes, support me. So I sat back. He put his back on my back. And then he stuck his head on my shoulder, which at first I was like, whoa, bro, that's kind of fucking close, a little personal. Don't expect me to give you any, don't expect a hand job, motherfucker. Put his head, and jokes, folks, jokes. And I put my head back on his shoulder. And I was sitting there in that moment just going, this is pretty fucking cool. It took the weight off my back and my neck from holding my head up. And we both just sat there. And he really taught me something in that moment. And it's beautiful fucking moments like that, even if it is with a man. I'd rather it be some gorgeous woman, but man, I think I'm undateable. I'm unfuckable. It would take a pretty fucking special gal, you know. Which I'm going to shoot forward then, since I brought that up. It's been very lonely, you know. I'm a single dad. I got a special needs kid. And I've got to figure out a way to support us. I may not be able to work anymore because the mother of my child, she can't handle her. Things are starting to escalate, and it's a possibility. Anyways, if someone told me there's a fucking 20% chance that this airplane could go down, 80% that you're gonna make it, I'd still look and go, I want a goddamn fucking parachute, so I'm working on my parachute. So I choose to be this way, but I also only get one night off a week, so I kind of don't know how I'd even hold the relationship down. I've been really fucking lonely, and I consider you guys as my family, my friends, and really, when I think about it, most people are so full of shit, you know? Whatever people call love and friends is like, dude, if that's love and that's friendship and kindness and understanding, then fucking take it over there, man. I want to save myself for the right people. I digress. So I started this dating app. I think it was Bumblebee or something like that. I was like, well, maybe I can meet somebody. And I looked and I went, oh shit, I got to take a selfie. So I'm in my yard. I live in an RV full time by choice. I had a nice house, 5 acres, 3 bedroom. It was beautiful. I actually miss it a lot, but the cost was really high. Sunnyside fucking California. But I've cut my bills like by 50% by moving out of that fucking house and doing what I'm doing. But it gives the appearance. So here I am trying to take the selfie, and I drive a 1996 F-350 pickup truck, which you guys will hear sometimes is a diesel. And sometimes I have to podcast on the busy days, especially in winter when I go back to work. I turned around to take a picture, and there's my truck in the background. I was like, oh, fuck, I got to try to make something look good here. So I go to the other way. I'm like, shit, there's my RV trailer. Then I go this way, and there's my 17-year-old ratty looking fucking dog, which I love. Hi, Hazel. I'm not picking on you. She's sitting by my feet right now while I do this show. Basically, I was looking around like, oh my God, I went out in the street and you see even more fucking RVs. So it's like, and then I thought to myself, Adrian, what the fuck are you going to do when some chick fucking shows up at your house and goes, oh, so this is the living fucking shit, huh, you fucking loser? You know, I don't give a shit. I think it would be fucking fantastic. That's the type of woman I'm looking for that could look at that and basically, I guess, not judge a book by its cover, see me for who I really am, which I will go into, like public acceptance. I've had my daughter, I have her in a private school. There's a lot of wealthy people where I live. There's North County, San Diego, by the way, in Sunnyside, fucking California. The weather's fucking perfect right now, though, I have to say, and I love the ocean water. Oh my God, it's like, I think it's like 70 degrees right now. It's fucking, the swimming is just beautiful. Yeah, I had one of her my daughters, my oldest daughter. She got dropped off, and they came in like this beautiful an Escalade, I think it was, and they just looked around my place like, oh shit, you know. She just looked around me and asked, well, did you guys need any gas money or money for food? You know, she thinks we're fucking poor. And people don't know that I have over a year's supply of emergency funds. I can probably survive 2 years without working if I sold some of the investment things like my work trailers and tools and, you know, that nature. I'm pretty much set up. I don't have to fucking worry about shit. But I look fucking poor. It's a design. It's on purpose. But you will be perceived that way. People ask me where I live. You're like at an RV park. They're like, oh, shit, really? Yeah, the public acceptance. But you know what? I think it goes down to not giving a fuck what anybody thinks about you, because if they're not paying your bills, fucking you at nighttime, it's none of their goddamn fucking business. Even if they are, it's still none of your fucking goddamn business. They're not there, you know, at the stressful fucking moments of your life, you know, to keep up with the Joneses. I think that's the problem with fucking society and people, is that they just care too much about what people think and how they're perceived. They're so focused on that during the day that they're not focused on themselves and doing what they want, what they love. You know, going after the joy of things and seeing how things work. Fuck the aesthetics of it. What does this thing do for me? What does this give back? I guess I ramble and digress. So when I started out, I think too, as a warning, is that it's very difficult to get here because you're going to be working your fucking ass off, right? People are going to the movies, concerts, and that was the thing, the Xbox. Okay, it came out. Fuck. I'm sorry. I wasn't, okay, we'll just leave it in there. I'm probably going to get in trouble, but fuck it. Oh my God. I can always edit that out later, I guess. She was always looking, going, hey, people are going out to dinners and movies and concerts and all kinds of things. And I says, yes, but we're saving up to buy a house or to invest for our kids and everything. And, and to come to find out, like I asked her, go to those people and ask them what their savings looks like and what's their retirement plan. Learn from them. If they're going out and having such a great time and everything's so fucking peachy, ask them that fucking question. How do you guys do all this? And when you do, it's like, we just put everything on credit cards. Well, they had to shut the fucking power off, So not the life I cared to live, but as I said, I get my financial freedom. You're going to see a bunch of people fucking having fun while you're working. It's the old ant and the grasshopper. If you guys never heard the story, the ants are preparing, getting food and everything for the winter, and the grasshopper's just fucking laughing. They're like, you're fucking crazy. Next thing you know, the winter comes and hits, the ants seal up the door, and that grasshopper can't find any food. It's freezing cold, just like the ant said it was. And then he's knocking on the door, can you please let me in? And the story goes a lot different from Disney. I think they actually let the fucking grasshopper go. They didn't open the door. Or maybe they fucking opened the door and dissected him and ate him. You have to stay focused. You have to keep your eye on the prize and try to get your mindset right. And I think watching shows, watching information like from people like me, and learning that it is actually possible, because I think it's a fucking crazy thing. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're gonna delay retirement? You might not even ever retire? What the fuck does that even mean? People are just following that American dream. They're going, this is what life is supposed to fucking look at. As I said, how many things are we doing and we don't even know why? And when you look at statistics, as I said before, watch how many people are failing. Watch their health, the money. Everything's, this whole system's fucking cracking and nobody's doing anything about it. And I understand it's fucking scary to look at a lifestyle like this and go, fuck. But you have people like me that will prove to you that it is fucking possible, that we don't have to eat the shit sandwich, man. We can make whatever we want out of this fucking life. I hope you look at my style. I hope you look at other people. And I'm not going to be a dick here either. Like, if I find interesting stuff and it's somebody who's like, a competitor of some sort, I'm going to share all that shit, because the goal is to get you guys inspired and let you know that there is a different way of life. Okay, so I've said this one before, but I want to leave you guys with it too. It's the dying regrets from an Australian nurse that was taking care of people. Excuse my dog lapping up the water. Hi, Hazel. But this woman spent a lot of time with the dying, and she ended up hearing all these stories. She talked to them, and one of them was that, there's like the top 15. I think I'm going to do a show on this. Keep an eye out for it. But one of the top 15 regrets that were in common with thousands of fucking senior citizens, they said they wish they didn't play it so safe, because in the end, it wasn't worth it. They wish they would have taken more risks. So I challenge you guys, take a risk, do it safely, learn from me and others. If you want to get out of the traffic, the rat race, and just this shit fucking show, this matrix of fucking nothingness, and have purpose in your life, and get more self-fulfillment, stay with us, check it all out. Look on Instagram. I post every single day to prove to you guys I'm on my mini retirement. Today's August 8th. And I've got some cool shit there for you guys won't find on the podcast or on YouTube. There's also a private Facebook group site that you guys can join. I post stuff that I don't post on YouTube or anywhere else too. There's original content there. It's all up and in it. Just type up and in it, or look in the description below and I'll leave some links. There's also my address I finally added on there, my post office box. So if somebody wants to send me a bomb or fucking, or tickets to fucking fish fire sushi, anything at all, you guys give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, a middle finger, whatever, but give me some comments. I really enjoy it. It keeps me going. As I always say, don't lose your fucking muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it, love it, own it, and bone it.